Good morning. Guess what day it is? It's November 18th, 2024. And today is Push Button Phone Day. The push button was also called a touch tone. It was first introduced to customers in some areas of Pennsylvania on November 18, 1963. Push button phones were the fancy alternative to rotary dial phones, which some of you young people probably won't even know what that is. Push button phones are phones that use buttons to dial numbers and connect to other telephones. Today, the introduction of cell phones and touch screens have made push button phones obsolete. Did you know that the first words spoken over a telephone were, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you"? They were spoken by Alexander Graham Bell to his assistant, Thomas Watson. So here is how the touch tone worked. Each number had its own frequency, and the switching center decoded the frequency to connect the number. It was faster than a rotary dial phone. So it only takes a touch to connect with another person on these phones. By touch, we communicate a lot of things. We can communicate love. Jesus used touch to heal. In Mark chapter 1 verses 41 and 42 it says, "Then Jesus, moved with compassion, stretched out his hand and touched him and said to him, 'I am willing, be cleansed.' As soon as he had spoken, immediately the leprosy left him and he was cleansed." In Matthew 9, there's a story of a woman who had an issue of blood for 12 years. She heard about Jesus. And in verse 21 it says, "For she said to herself, 'If only I may touch his garment, I shall be made well.'" She did just that. She crept up behind him and touched his robe. But he knew that she had touched him. Verse 22 says, "But Jesus turned around, and when he saw her, he said, 'Be of good cheer, daughter, for your faith has made you well.' And the woman was made well from that hour." So a touch can bring healing. Did you know a touch can also bring spiritual uncleanness? Numbers 19:22 says, "Whatever the unclean person touches shall be unclean, and the person who touches it shall be unclean until evening." So today, as you remember the touch tone phone, be aware that you must be careful what you allow to touch your life. Whether by physical touch, words, sight, or any other method, only allow the good and the holy things to touch your life, because they can change your life for good or for bad. Remember, touch is important.